Welcome to Talks with Dr. Gupta and friends. Today we're diving into one of the greatest business stories of our time. How Nvidia became the world's first 5 trillion company. A company that quietly became the engine of the entire AI revolution. Let's get into it. To understand Nvidia's rise, we need to go back to 1993. Picture this. 3 engineers sitting in a booth at a Denny's. Yes, Denny's. Sketching out an idea for a new kind of computer chip. For a new kind of computing. Jensen Huang becomes CEO because the other 2 founders were smart enough to know they didn't want the headaches. Jensen later said the job was mostly pain and suffering, and that phrase will follow us throughout this story. His mother taught him one powerful question. How hard can it be? A naive question. And the only reason Nvidia survived the impossible challenges ahead. Back then, computers ran on CPUs. Swiss Army knives that could do lots of things pretty well. Nvidia wanted something different. A GPU, a specialist that could solve thousands of tiny problems at once. Great for video games, useless for everything else, or so everyone thought. Then in 2006, Nvidia released something bold. CUDA, a piece of software that unlocked the GPU's superpower, parallel processing, for the entire world. Not just gamers, but scientists, researchers, and AI pioneers. There was just one problem. The new GPUs cost twice as much, and on day 1, 0 applications existed to use them. This was a life-threatening bet, the kind that usually kills a company. But this painful gamble placed Nvidia exactly where it needed to be for a revolution nobody saw coming. Researchers quietly started using CUDA for strange, obscure experiments. Then came 2012. A model called AlexNet, running on Nvidia GPUs, completely demolished the competition in an image recognition contest. It wasn't even close. Inside Nvidia, a light bulb went off. If a machine can learn something as complex as recognizing an image, maybe it can learn anything. Biology, chemistry, language. Nvidia suddenly understood. AI wasn't an application. It was a new form of computing, and they went all in. Jensen Huang stopped thinking of Nvidia as a chip company. He began thinking like an industrialist. A traditional data center stores data. An AI factory produces intelligence. Raw data goes in. A trained model, a digital worker, comes out. One modern GPU system costs around $3 million and weighs 2 tons. Companies buy them in clusters of thousands. Look at Meta. After a crisis in 2022 wiped out a massive chunk of its value, the company rebuilt its entire recommendation engine using Nvidia's AI hardware. The result? Meta added back over 1 trillion in value. That's the power of an AI factory. For Jensen, this isn't a tech upgrade. It's the beginning of a new industrial revolution. Huang sees the future unfolding in 3 massive waves. Wave 1. Digital labor. AI agents acting as employees. Assistants, operators, analysts. All digital. Wave 2. Physical AI when AI gets a body. Self-driving cars. Humanoid robots. Autonomous factories. Wave 3. Engineering biology. Designing drugs and proteins the way we design bridges. Biology becomes computable. These aren't fantasies. These are trillion-dollar industries forming right now. Jensen often points out a key difference. The US, led by lawyers, tries to regulate early, imagining risks and preventing them. China, led by engineers, regulates late, letting innovation run, then fixing problems afterward. That difference helps explain why China's tech ecosystem moves so fast. So what do we learn from the journey from a booth at Denny's to a 5 trillion empire? Naive optimism is essential. If you knew the pain ahead, you'd never start. Suffering builds character. Greatness requires discomfort. Change course fast. Admit when you're wrong. Stay curious. Curiosity is Nvidia's real superpower. Jensen was once asked if he'd do it all again, knowing how painful it was. He didn't even hesitate. He said, "No, absolutely not." And that's the secret. The only way to start something extraordinary is to ask that beautifully naive question. How hard can it be? Happy new thinking!